is a star. Every nigga is a star. Who will deny that you and I and every nigga is a star?
You are now tuned in to the Uncle Tom Show. But I'm not a bad guy. You hear Uncle Tom, you hear a traitor to your community, you hear a person who doesn't love his race or himself. No, quite the opposite. Uncle Tom, first of all, if any idiot knows their basics about the book, Uncle Tom was the hero in the book, which went into me naming it the Uncle Tom Show.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Sambo is the bad guy. Sambo's the guy you don't want to be called. Uncle Tom was the guy who hid the slaves from the masters and helped them escape. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do to you dumb field niggas out there.
Uncle Tom was not a bad guy. See, Uncle Tom, you read that book, and most blacks, 90% of blacks never read it. They always call another black, he's an Uncle Tom, he's an Uncle Tom. He's not an Uncle Tom. If you read the book Uncle Tom was a guy who would not beat black women. Uncle Tom in that book was a guy who would not beat other blacks to make them pick more cotton. Uncle Tom was a guy who would come in at night and take cotton out of his own bag and put it in other black folks' bags so they wouldn't get whippings at night. Uncle Tom was a guy who would not tell where black folk were hiding when they went across the river.
Our ancestors are fucking rolling in their graves right now at what we call racism. Our grandmothers, great-grandmothers, they were attacked by fucking German shepherds. They had fire hoses set on them. They couldn't sit in certain restaurants. They had to drink from the same water fountain that white people were pissing into. And oh my God, I got kicked out of Starbucks. Racism! Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy, dude. But you don't think what happened in Starbucks was
Here's the deal. No, logically it's silly, okay? They didn't let these guys sit in their restaurant, and I'm sure they let people sit in their restaurant all the time. Yeah, 100%.
No, I seen it.
That. Definitely get that.
People that shouldn't be sitting in
right
there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think it was a race issue, because if you just get to the meat of the bones, they were loitering and they were asked to leave. Period. If someone asked me to leave, Dre, I'm leaving. I'm not sitting there and saying, no, I can stay here. No, I'm getting the fuck out of here because I don't want to get arrested. I don't want anything because I know once they tell you to leave and you don't leave, it's loitering. You know, to be honest, I've never trusted presidents. Like, I don't trust him any more than I've trusted Obama, any more than I've trusted George Bush, and I just don't trust them. I really don't think they have as much power to affect our lives sitting right here in Los Angeles, California. I don't believe that 3,000 miles away, some dude sitting in an office with orange face and fucked up hair has any effect on me sitting at my home in Los Angeles. What has effect on me, Dre, is the local shit, the mayor. That's what I pay more attention to, the mayor shit, to the fucking city councilman, to the supervisors of the school. Like, those are the things I pay attention to because that directly affects me as I'm driving out of my gated community. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And a very nice gated community.
I had to throw that out there. I grew up in the hood. I lived in the hood up until fucking 40. I lived in Norwalk. I lived in Bell Gardens. I lived in East Long Beach. Now that I got a nice house, I definitely throw that out there, man. Just to be an asshole too.
No, really, like you said, I went from Cudahy, fucking
the hood.
Yeah, I saw a dude get shot out front of the pad. It was
Cudahy's the hood, guys.
It was my homie's brother, but I was like, I see him go down. I was like, damn, what happened to your brother? And next thing I know, like, he's in his house and in his blood.
You saw someone shot in front.
Well, I didn't. The thing was, we were.
Yeah, tell me the story,
because we were at a distance and we were just standing at the doorway, and then his brother's like standing on the curb, and then he's standing there, and then you hear boom, and then he's not. Like, he's kind of laying down. So you
didn't see it, but you saw the aftermath.
And then aftermath when he was in the house laying down and he was bleeding. That's when we walked in. We're like, oh shit, I see blood. I was like, oh.
How old were you?
I was in junior high. I was in like 6th grade, so I was probably like 10, 11.
Dude, that's fucking traumatic. Dre, do you realize what people? Hold on, stop. Do you realize what people
seen worse?
I know people have seen worse, but that's like, not everybody has seen somebody shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my point in that is, us in the hood and urban people and Latinos and blacks, we don't seek therapy. We don't seek counseling. We are the least race to seek it, behind Asians. I think Asians are number one, and it all stems around Latinos are pray to Jesus, and then blacks are like, oh, let Jesus handle it. We don't go to fucking therapy. people in the hood see shit every day, just like Dre saw one time. People see this shit 6, 7, 8 times a year, and that's PTSD like a motherfucker.
I agree completely.
Oh, dude, and these people are not seeking help. I mean, if this was a white person who was in the army and they saw 6 people, you know, get shot, they would go seek help
or try to.
We don't fucking do that. We put it in God's hands.
But there's been a movement lately where a lot of, it seems, I mean, I'm not black, but it seems like a lot of black dudes especially are starting to move into like therapy and stuff.
You think so? That according to numbers, that's not the case. But what do you mean?
Really?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
well, because I listened to Breakfast Club in Charlemagne.
Those motherfuckers, of course.
Yeah.
The ones with $1 million. Oh, for sure. When they have daily problems, like, oh my God, I gotta buy another house and I can't fit this Lamborghini and stuff. Yeah, they gotta go to therapy.
Yeah, you're right.
The average dude in Chicago, is not going.
Dude, Chicago is so bad, bro.
It's scary, homie.
It's scary as fuck.
And it's like LA in the 80s and 90s, Dre.
It's worse, I think.
You know, numbers wise,
it's like Iraq.
The same. It's first of all, more people get killed in more black people get killed here. Let me say this correctly. More people get killed black people get killed in the south side of Chicago than get killed in either Iraq or Afghanistan every year. Something like that.
God
like
damn.
That's fucking that's huge. And I think it may be people, not just black people. I talked about this on my show. But yeah, Chicago, Dre, I talk about that on a lot on my show, the Uncle Tom Show. By the way, fucking call in. People need to call in.
Uncle Tom Takeover.
Yes, Uncle Tom Show. I talk about Chicago on my show a lot, Dre. I focus on Chicago a lot and I've been doing this for 2-3 years now. It's a sad situation that we're not, and not us necessarily, but we are not focusing on Chicago more. Chicago, in just a small 2.33 mile radius, square block radius, dozens of people are getting shot over a weekend. Dre, if this was a white neighborhood, if this was Boise, Idaho, if this was Des Moines, Iowa, or something like that, and 60 people were getting shot in a weekend, it would be every news story. It would be everything, but nothing in Chicago. You know why? Because they see it as niggas being niggas, and whatever, let them kill themselves, and that bothers me, and that's why I focus on it so much.
But they even flame the fire. They like add to it the problem. They compound it, and I hear like the upper side is getting rehabilitated and getting remodeled, but the lower side is getting like
gentrification.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, that happened in Brooklyn. Like if you drive through Brooklyn now,
New York
Brooklyn does not look like it did 20 years ago. Brooklyn, back when Jay-Z and Biggie were doing their thing, it does not look like the Brooklyn of today. And that's exactly what's happening. And the higher ups are like, look, you guys need to fucking take that shit over there. But the scary part is it's 2 blocks away. I mean, you walk out of they do it in LA, gentrification, $1 million downtown homes. You walk down, you walk less than a block, there's 18 homeless people. You're in the middle of Skid Row, but you live in $1 million apartment.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
You're right. Yes, but they have these walls and security to keep you in and keep you feeling safe and clean.
False sense of security. And I joked about being in a gated community, Dre.
This is some Blade Runner shit.
Oh, I got caught in the false sense of security. Oh,
what happened?
I'm in a gated community. Oh, like I'm a little bit more safe. No, I'm a fucking target, dude. I'm a target now. Like, that's how you kind of have to think. Yeah. I'm still in LA, and if you drive out of my gated community, go 3 blocks down, you're back in the fucking hood. You know what I mean? It's just my little area that's quote unquote nice. And I was like, oh, I'm safe. I went one day from being like, oh, I'm safe to I'm a fucking target. So I went and bought 3 more guns.
Oh shit! So you went and buy. See, I thought about that. I thought about, should I get some weaponry?
Always protect yourself, Dre.
Yeah.
I keep my pistol on me as I'm walking around in my home.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You keep your pistol on? I keep my pistol on me, dude, in my holster. Yeah. It's my little baby. I just keep it on me because I don't want to. Hold on, Robert. Let me go upstairs and get my gun and load it. And you come in my house, boom, it's a done deal.
And it's been happening a lot lately. Dude, it's happening a lot. Crazy. People jumping through windows, people going through anywhere opening. They just try opening doors and they just walk in.
Yes, you are so that is so true, dude. I used to sell security alarms 10 years ago, and I would hear all these stories. Families sitting at breakfast, having a nice breakfast, eating their eggs and waffles, all of a sudden, boom! 7 motherfuckers run in their house with pistols, and they tie them up, and their life just changed in that split second. And that ain't gonna be me. I mean, I just have too much my family. And that's your family. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody out there, like, because the cops, it's gonna take them 3-4 minutes to get here. They're trying to do what they can do, but depending on where you live, it could take anywhere from 4 minutes to 45 minutes. And it only takes a half a second for this motherfucker to pull his gun out and shoot you and your family. So I'm very into gun control, Jay. Like,
but I want to ask you about the whole Kaepernick thing, dude. Because I wanted to get your opinion on it. I know how I should feel.
Yeah.
I know how I do feel.
All right. Let me tell you, if you would have asked me,
lay it down.
If you would have asked me a year ago, I'd have been like, fuck Kaepernick. Fuck him. Like all of my shows in 2017, not all of them, but a lot of shows were like, fuck Kaepernick, blah, blah, blah. All right. It's still fuck Kaepernick, but not like that. My thing is, okay, we're focusing on something that's not a big issue. And I'm sorry, I'm going to break a lot of hearts out there. I'm going to get a lot of people pissed off. But if we're talking black lives, police killing motherfuckers, niggas every once in a while is not as big of an issue as 15 people getting killed in Chicago in an 11-hour span. Those two things don't compare to me. And if you even and I don't want to bore everybody with statistics and everything, but it's a myth that black people are getting killed by police at a higher rate. It is a myth, and not necessarily a myth. There are other factors into it. Dre, unarmed innocent black people account for about 4%, and I don't have my stats in front of me, but account for about 4% of police shootings every year. That is not a big issue in my mind. Long story short, I used to love football. I fucking love football. I played for 8 years. Now, Dre, I just don't even watch football because all the politics just come into my head, and I don't enjoy the game like I used to. So in a nutshell, okay, Kaepernick is pointing to an issue. Not, in my opinion, it's not that big of an issue, but it's not fuck him as much as it was a year ago. It just fucked up my whole thing with football now to where I don't even care about football anymore because now it's all political. And when I used to watch football, it would be to escape from all that bullshit. People are comparing this guy to the Rosa Parks and
I don't think it's that.
No, that's another thing that our fucking forefathers would be turning in their graves. Martin Luther King, who had stones thrown at him as he was walking hand to hand in Mobile, Alabama, he was having big ass fucking stones thrown at him and like, fuck you, nigger, boom, boom, and like shit him. And then he's getting on the same t-shirt as Colin Kaepernick, who fucking who kneeled during a football game, and he's making $17 million a year. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Don't compare him to the Rosa Parks who went to jail.
Now that you mentioned Rosa Parks, you know Rosa Parks took that whole thing from a younger girl, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, not took it, but that wasn't the first time that it happened. Yeah. That just for whatever reason was the bigger story. I don't know. Maybe because it was at the time.
They set it all up to make it like they planned for her to do this and that there was going to be a big deal.
Where did you hear about that?
I heard on a podcast.
Because I know the story. I definitely know the story. About 20 years before, a long time before, somebody did this, a younger girl, and she went to jail. But I don't know if it was planned. I don't know anything about that.
I heard on the Daily.
Okay. Oh, no.
It's a news podcast. Check it out. Okay. Hey, anyways, fuck all that. So moving on, I want to ask you about what's up with this cop that went into the wrong apartment and shot the dude.
Oh, how fucked up is that?
What the fuck, dude?
Not the best time either.
That scares the shit out of me.
Not the best time either, because once again, this whole police brutality thing is forefront, and for this dumb bitch to go into someone else's, oh my god, this bitch is so stupid.
Scares me, bro.
It should. This bitch to go into someone else's apartment and I'm laughing at it, but it's because it's so sad and it's so fucking silly. And yes, that's a fucked up situation. You know, a motherfucker getting choked out because he pulled a cell phone on a cop and the cop thought it was a gun and they shoot him in the side of the head. I'm not too scared about it. I'm not too sad about that. But the fact that they went into this fucking law-abiding citizen's house and she thought it was her house and she ended up shooting him, fucked up situation. But that's an isolated incident, and I can't chalk that up to cops being bad. I can chalk that up to cops being human. Cops, I'm sorry, cops are think about everybody you know who went to high school, Dre, that were cops. Personally, I know a few of them, and they weren't the smartest human beings. They were the fucking oh yeah, fuck yeah, the meatheads. You know, they weren't the smartest ones. No. So now you put these guys, give them a badge. Yeah. It was either that or they were the ones that got picked on. But you give them a badge now, and now it's not going to always work out. You know what I'm saying? Good. So that being said, I think I don't know. I don't know if a better vetting process would come, would do anything, but I don't know how we could solve this. There's no way to solve a stupid bitch going into some dude's house,
dude. What makes me mad is that they're trying to get her off too. They're trying to make excuses for.
Are
her.
they really? Haven't seen.
Well, they didn't want to release the name of the person right away.
The cop.
Okay. And then when they finally did,
that goes and
then they were getting all kinds of excuses.
Really? Okay.
And recently, the new excuse is like, oh, well, there was weed in the house or in his system. Really? Like, what does that have to do with dating?
Well, I haven't. And once again, this all goes to the media. The media knows. It depends on what media you're tuning into. They're all fucked up. I hate the media. It's a little slant, you know, that they put. If it's a left media, they're gonna put their slant to it. If it's the right media, they're gonna put their slant to it. That's why fuck the media. Don't trust the media. The media is full of shit. Read both sides. Read both sides and formulate your own opinion. That's my when dealing with the media, because that sounds like some shit that, let's see, that sounds like some shit a left-wing media source would say. Cop shoots man or he had weed in his system, so that gave him, like, that sounds like something the left would do to stir up shit. The right does it too. CNN does it, Fox News does it. They both do it, and these are the reasons why we're puppets, and we're gonna fucking be a civil war pretty soon, dude.
Exactly, bro. Dude, it's gonna be a class war. It's gonna be a civil class war, and it's like
some fucking what's this movie? The Purge. I feel like that's, when I watch that, I'm like, that's not too fucking far.
We could definitely get to that level, right?
I don't think it would be a government thing that where, okay, it's the government saying let's do this. I think it'll be a personal. No, I think it's gonna be personal motherfuckers, like somebody that has a website and says, hey, fuck that. All of us poor people, we are gonna fucking, on February 28th, on this leap year, we're gonna fucking rise up and we're gonna attack all rich people. Like, it's not gonna be the government. It's gonna be the fucking the poor people, because we're getting to where that gap is spreading, dude.
Yeah.
Poor people are it's getting further and further, and they're looking at the rich person like, oh, okay, you got all that shit. Well, I need that. Dude, Dre, when I drive out of my gated community, once again, dude, a block and a half, there's a fucking tent city. It's tents. It's there's
for real?
Oh, nope. I live by the 605 freeway. Not to give away where I get, but right when I get on that freeway, I'm right down the street from the freeway. I get on that motherfucker. There's tents right there. You think they're not looking at us?
Yeah.
And then one day, and this does to your paranoid. No, this is real shit. Purge can be some real shit, and it's not going to be the government. It's going to be the people that purge, and then the government's going to try to stop it, but it's going to be the people, dude. It's going to be the people. It could be a fucking French Revolution.
I can see the government letting it happen so that way they can have an excuse to come in,
exactly,
and to lock it down.
Isn't that how the? Forgive me if I'm wrong, anybody out there, but isn't that how the French Revolution started? Like, the poor people uprose, like the ones who could, they uprose against the richer people. I kind of think that's how that started. Dude, we're not too far off from that. We'll probably be dead and gone when it happens, but within 100 years, that's the reality.
It was the commoners were revolting against the blood the
blue bloods,
the blue bloods, which were the queens and the kings, and they're all the ones with the monies, basically.
There it is. There
and
it
they
is.
were
right
like,
there.
no, we're not gonna have that shit anymore. We're gonna do this.
Our gap
Democrat.
is going further and further and further, and here's where I blame the left.
Yeah.
This is where I blame the left, because they're causing this gap. Because they're giving, here's your free phone. Oh, here's your free this. Here's your free that. We're on the right, which is, I'm starting to lean more towards. I'm not all the way there. I'm like 60-40 right now. But the right is like, hey, you work for this, we'll give you this. You work for this, we'll give you this. This is over here. Hey, no, you have a couple more babies, we'll give you this. Hey, get your man out of the house. We'll give you this. Dre, the fucking the New Deal 1950s, Lyndon B Johnson, who allegedly said, and it's been repeated over and over again, so I'm going to say it as fact, but it's been quoted, so I have to say allegedly. Lyndon B Johnson allegedly said, and I quote, "I'll have those niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Started giving them shit. Here's this, here's that. But hey, here's the deal. Your man can't be in the house. you're you have to be single to accept to get all this. So now the black woman is looking at her black man, and she's like, wait, I can get $900 extra if I have another kid, but he has to be out of the house. Well, he ain't shit anyway. So instead of working out the problem, she's like, nigga, get out. Boom. Oh, government gives them money. And that's why we are where we are today.
Damn, I didn't know that's how that works.
Look it up. Lyndon B Johnson started all of this shit, dude. Lyndon B Johnson back in the 50s, man. And this is no fucking paranoid. This is no conspiracy theory. If you look into it enough, you will see once. That's when it turned. Because back in the day, Dre, Democrats were the ones who started the KKK. The Democratic Party they were the KKK. And then right around that time when Lyndon B Johnson came in, it slowly started morphing into that. And they're like, wait, let's give these niggers some stuff, and then they'll vote for us. See, we can't. There's too many niggers. They're gaining. They're 13% of the population now. We need that vote. We need that vote. So let's give them stuff, and they'll vote for us. And that's when the New Deal came in, and that's when Lyndon B Johnson famously said, and I quote, and it's alleged, but it's been said over and over again, I'll have those niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Goddamn. And with that,
real history shit, Dre, the shit they don't teach us in high school.
Fucking A. Thank you so much.
Uncle Tom Show, baby.